win selling. And by the way, if you want to dig more, I'm going to move quickly through this, but there's always a reference point on anything we're going to show you here. There's always some place where you can track down the science behind it. And the guy that probably gets more credit for the science behind win-win selling is a guy named Stephen Covey, who wrote a bestseller that's, I'm sure it's still on the New York Times bestseller list to this day, which was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I know some of you in here have already read that. But he gets a lot of credit for the concept of win-win selling. Let's see if I have can figure out how the heck to make all this thing work. There's win-lose, there's lose-win, there's win-win. I'm not going to spend much time on it because most people consider it pretty much common sense, but there's a lot of people that don't care about the other guy. And that's basically win-lose or win I don't care. Well, don't ever involve yourself in an endeavor unless it's a win-win, because what you're doing is you're not only hurting the deal, you're hurting the other person, but you're hurting your own integrity. And and consistently doing that may be legal, but it's real corner cutting, and you'll never build a career that way. So it just doesn't work. It's when each party wins, and if you're ever involved in anything that isn't fair, you just pass on it. And what I would like to show you is literally, again, almost another cliche is this thing about how to double your income, and that's if you understand what I mean by the 5 Ps, and it all starts with you. Now, you've seen my other little happy face where in the past where we had on the radio station that all of your clients are listening to. What's that radio station?
What's in it for you?
Yep, WIFM. Okay, so now this one is different. And the reason this guy has a smile on his face is because he understands what the 5 Ps are. And it's pretty simple. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So the more prepared you are, the more you're going to have a smile on your face, the more confidence you're going to have. It's going to be reflected in everything you do. If you haven't prepared, and by the way, do you think most salespeople prepare for each presentation?
No.
And what is that called? What do they do?
Winging it.
They're winging it. And that's what most people do. Because, we're highly verbal people, so we could, I'll just wing it. Well, guess what? If you're not fooling anybody when you think you're winging it, because they can sense, like for example, when my first meeting with Joe, and we started talking, and he said, I can feel your passion. That's what he said to me, so I'm not trying to break my arm, patting myself on the back, but I said, Joe, pay attention, because what I'm sharing with you is stuff that is going to, you got a whole new life. His whole new life started Saturday. He turned 43 Saturday. He's in a new city. He's got a blank slate. The future's ahead of this. He's in this great, incredible company where he can grow and he can blossom. So I said, well, just think about it. So recently, Darren Hardy had who among you are tracking Darren Hardy? But he was talking about enthusiasm, and he was talking about the word entheos, the Greek word entheos, which means the power within, the spirit within, God within. That's where enthusiasm comes from. You get enthusiastic about something because you are knowledgeable about it, you are prepared about it. If you are winging it, it won't happen. And your entheos, that power that shows through, which I know you guys can feel when you talk to me or when I share with you, I'm excited and I'm enthusiastic about what I believe I can do to help you. I mean, as you know, I have real, true, honest to God passion for each one of you and for your untapped potential. You may think, this guy's just, no, there's not words. You can tell the difference between that, and you can sense my sincerity. So I didn't put we had a pretty active morning this morning, so I got to wear it. I can't see this damn thing. Oh, there we go. Is this what I'm talking about? Okay. So the passion is a way that you can express your inner enthusiasm. So think of it this way. Enthusiasm and passion. Remember we talked about the tracks. Urgency and scarcity. Well, here's another track. Enthusiasm and passion. If you have that. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Now, most people aren't prepared and they boastfully wing it. So, having said that, let's say hypothetically, by the way, let me see the hands. I'm not going to embarrass anybody or ask you the numbers, but let me see the hands of the people that absolutely know their closing percentage. Do Do you know how many people you actually do business with on a face-to-face basis? What percentage of them you actually end up writing an LOI with? How many people know? Okay.
0 so far.
Mike.
No.
Hey, by the way, this is Mike's inaugural meeting, and he's taking his test on Thursday. I'm going to give you a round of applause before Thursday. When Marie and I first started hanging out here, we said, wow, who is this guy? Well, we found out. He's here with us. Okay, so hypothetically, let's just pick a hypothetical. If you're closing 1 out of 20, okay, well, what would it mean to you if you could get one more out of the 19 that you're not getting? The 19 you're getting away. What would it mean? And more importantly, if you understood what I mean by PPPP, proper preparation prevents poor performance, if you're prepared with your people, if you're putting together your scripts, and enough scripts is how you build a planned presentation, if you really had that and we're doing that, do you think that you could get one more sale out of the 19 hypothetically they're getting away? Do you think if you did all the right things that you know you should do you think that you might be able to get one more sale out of it? Do you really think it's possible? Well, it's more than possible. It's more than possible. The path to success is knowing what you're going to say, not winging it, when you're going to say it. And we're going to have that chart that you kind of remember from the last time where I had the 2 happy faces and the 3 boxes. When you're going to say it, how you're going to say it, but for the first time, maybe most importantly, why you're saying it. Now that's a planned presentation. A planned presentation is just absolutely no more than putting the series of scripts together. And how many scripts are you involved in to make a presentation? No more than 10 at the max. You'd have to have one. Well, we're going to get into what the scripts. What scripts do you need? Well, you need one for a compelling introduction. In other words, who are you? What differentiates you from any other broker that they could interface with? And if you don't have a compelling statement, it's because maybe you don't feel as though you're prepared to do anything very compelling. So in other words, if you can't write a compelling statement about what you're going to do, that means you haven't really focused on what does differentiate you. How sincere are you? How enthusiastic are you? How interested are you in building your career? By the way, going back to win-win for a minute, you may from time to time be involved in a deal that's lose-win. In other words, you lose, but they win. Because I know some of you had mentioned that in earlier meetings where I think in Mike's case, he said he spent all this time working with this one client and he put so much time, effort, energy into it, and the money reward wasn't there. It wasn't worth it. Well, that's part of your prospecting and your qualifying from the beginning. But if you're in it, you still want to make it a win-win. In other words, even though you put a lot of work into it and financially it didn't work for you, you could say, well, that was a lose-win. I lost it. No, it's a win-win anyway. Because what you're doing is you're adding another client to your CRM. You're adding another client and another person who's going to be boasting and thinking about you. You will never know where some of your business may come from. And it will surprise you that how business will come out of thin air 12, 13 months, 2 years later because you were keeping in constant contact with the people. So what differentiates you? This is going to be the first script that you guys are going to be challenged to write. And we talked about this at the last meeting. It is probably, of the whole presentation here, this is probably the most important takeaway. The most important takeaway is how you present you, how you position you, what you say about you. Because if you say that you're going to work 24/7 to get them the very best deal, and I'm not sure if this property is going to be right for you or not. This property may not be right for everybody. Well, they like hearing that. Because what does the typical salesman keep telling them? This is perfect for you, this is perfect. It may not be. It may not be perfect. So they like hearing, this may not be, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to work 24/7 to make sure I get you into a position that you're going to be happy with for as long as your lease. Now, by the way, and I'm going to make a commission on that, but I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in the commission, and I'm not interested in this little tidbit of business. I want to do 20 deals with you. I want to do 20 deals with you over the next 10 years. I want to do your neighbors, your friends, and your relatives. I want to end up doing business with your dog and your cat because you introduced me, because I did a good job for you. Now, that's somewhat of a compelling statement. Now, are you prepared to make that kind of statement? I am. When I go work with a client, I am prepared to make that kind of statement. I made that statement to Joe. I said, Joe, pay attention to what I'm going to say. Because it's all about, what is the difference that, it's unfortunate Dave just left the room. Dave has an arsenal of people that call him, that he has built a relationship with over a period of time. That's where you want to put yourself. You want to put yourself in that exact same position. And you're going to do that by having these people develop a level of what? What do they have to develop with you, between you?
Trust.
Absolutely. No, and guess what? Because in a lot of your cases, because you're just getting started, you know, it's hard to build trust. They've done studies on trust, and they say it takes a minimum of time to create a level of trust. Does anybody remember how much time we're talking about typically? Okay, 6 months to 2 years. So by working with someone over a period of time, minimum of 6 months, they say, hey, this guy Joey, he's right on the money. Everything he's ever said is right. He follows up. He's always in touch. He keeps sending me information. And all of a sudden, for as much as 2 years. So if you stick with it, that is how you build your CRM. It's